Very good morning to all of you, my dear friends. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you're all welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Let's learn together. And let us see who was this Mr. Bankim Chattopadhyay. You can see his image also. He's the man who has drawn this, who has created this image of Bharat Mata. And Bharat Mata is shown that she is having a trishul in her hand and she is standing beside a lion and an elephant. And that was shown that India is having authority as well as power. India can rule themselves. They know they don't need any foreigners. So great work by this particular man. Now this is the image of, you can see, image created by Abanindranath Tagore in 1905. That is the image of Bharat Mata. I have seen this image in Kolkata Museum also. That is the museum that is there in Kolkata, that is in the heart of Kolkata. I went there some time ago and I saw this image there also. So Abanindranath Tagore, he was very, you can say, sentimental. He was very man of great enthusiasm, and he was believing on the Indians. And he also drawn this image. You can see this Bharat Mata image. He drawn this image. He created this image during Swadeshi movement when Britishers tried to differentiate, to separate Bengal into two different parts, and that is known as the Swadeshi movement. People of that state, West Bengal, they started many movement against this creation or separating the West Bengal into two different parts. So people of Bengal started this Swadeshi movement to oppose, to go against the partition of Bengal. And that when at that particular time Abhindranath Tagore painted this particular famous image of Bharat Mata. Now let us see what are written in, what is there in the hands of the Bharat Mata in this particular image. Again you can see the image of a lady or the image of a woman has been drawn to depict, to show that the India is to in that the Bharat Mata, the image of Bharat Mata is the woman. Again over here, the image of a woman has been selected over here. Now let us go through. You can notice the mother figure here is shown as providing learning, food, even clothing. The mala in one hand, it emphasizing, it is showing that Bharat Mata is very ascetic, is having very ascetic quality, means the having is religious quality also. The people of India are very religious. That is shown by having the mala on this particular hands lady. Again, you can see Abanindranath Tagore, like Ravi Verma, before him also created or painted the image of Bharat Mata. Ravi Verma also painted. Now here, Abanindranath Tagore tried to develop a style of painting that could be seen as truly Indian. In this image you can see a lot of things have been shown over here. Bharat Mata is portrayed as ascetic figure, means तपस्वी दिखाया गया कि भारत माता के लोग जो है या भारत माता जो है वो क्या है, तपस्वी है. She is calm, composed, and even she is divine, means एक देवी है. भारत माता क्या है, एक देवी है. That was shown to the people of India by creating this type of images which you can see over here. So we have gone through first 2 points, that is united struggles, and we have gone through point that is people started developing the thinking of that they are, this is their country, and that is the third point that we have to discuss, which is also used to increase or develop the sense of national belonging, collective belonging among the Indians, that they are from the same country. That is the third point or third steps taken by the Indian nationalists to increase this feeling, to raise the feeling of nationalism among the Indians. And this third point is what? The image of Bharat Mata. People started appreciating, people started thinking, or they started connecting India with that particular image of Bharat Mata, which was created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in the year 1882. Remember the year? Almost it is going 150 years more back. So the image of Bharat Mata was created to link the feelings of Indians with that particular image of Bharat Mata. Means if an Indian will see the image of Bharat Mata, then they will bow their head and they will do pranam, or they will be very pious with that particular image, and that will show, that will be act as the evidence of one's nationalism. अगर कोई लोग भारत माता के इमेज देखकर उसके अंदर में श्रद्धा आ जाता है, तो ये इस बात का सबूत देता है that it is the evidence of nationalism कि ये आदमी जो है, वो शख्स जो है इंडियन है और वो भारत माता का इज्जत करता है. So this was the thinking behind painting the image of Bharat Mata, so that people start devoting, people start feeling about the nationalism in their in their hearts, in their mind. And you can see in the years 1870s, he wrote that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay also wrote one very famous poem known as Vande Mataram. That song was devoted to the motherland India. And that Vande Mataram poem was also later on included in his novel Anandamath, that was in the year 1882. So remember these things for MCQ purpose also, that who wrote Anandamath and who wrote Vande Mataram, and when was Vande Mataram included in his novel Anandamath. That was in the year 1882. And you can see that particular Vande Mataram song was widely sung during Swadeshi movement in Bengal. It was started in Bengal. Britishers started, they thought to partition Bengal into two different parts. During that movement, the Bengalis started the movement to oppose this particular partition of Bengal into two parts. That was known as the Swadeshi movement. The movement started by the Bengalis to oppose the Britishers, to go against the Britishers, because they were wanted to partition Bengal into two different parts. So let me give you more details about Swadeshi movement also. See, over here you would be able to see that Swadeshi movement was having a genesis in the anti-partition movement. Means the Britishers was going to partition Bengal by saying that Hindus and Muslims should be live not together, they should not live together, because they are having the major population in Bengal, so both of them should live separately. They wanted that, Britishers. So you can see over here that the Bengalis started to oppose the Britishers against this partition movement. The government decision to partition Bengal was made in public in the year 1903. December 1903, the government and the British government announced that they are going to partition Bengal into two different parts. And what were those partitions? Let us see. The official reason, which was the reason given by the Britishers for partitioning the Bengal, was that they were saying that Bengal, with a population of 78 million, according to them at that time, the Bengal was having a population of 78 million. About a quarter of the population of British India. See, the Britishers were there, only just quarter of the population they were having in India. But only the Bengalis, the Bengal was only having 78 million population. And that was really very difficult for the Britishers to administer. This is the reason given by the Britishers, that they are unable to administer, they are unable to control Bengal because of this huge population. And that is why they want to partition Bengal. But the real motto was that they want to separate Hindus and Muslims, so that they cannot start their united struggle, united movement against the Britishers. That was the real reason. But the reason which was given officially by the Britishers was because of the population, and they were unable to control. See, but the real motive behind the partition plan was to British that they want to weaken Bengal. वो Bengal को कमजोर करना चाह रहे थे. Because at that time, during 1900 and 1903, that Bengal became the center of Indian nationalism. That is the reason the Britishers wanted to divide Bengal into the different parts. Here are few more details you can see. The Bengalis, they were saying that on the basis of language, they want to reduce the Bengalis to minority in Bengal. And Bengal proper was to have 70 million Bengalis and 37 million Hindi and Odia speakers. This is now because they want to divide them on the basis of language also. You can see 17 million Bengalis were there and 37 million Hindi and Odia speakers were there. And on the second hand, you can say other western half of the Bengal was having Hindu majority. where they were having 42 million out of a 54 million out of, means 42 million Bengalis were there in the western half of Bengal out of those 54 million. So again, there was a huge majority of the Hindus over there. And the eastern half, you can see Muslim majority were 18 million out of 31 million. So here you can see also more than half of the eastern half was surrounded by the Muslims, and western half was more than half was surrounded by the Hindus. That was the reason given by the Britishers also, they want to partition Bengal. And now say they also try to woo the Muslims. Women, they want to fool the Muslims also. And according at that time, Lord Curzon, who was the viceroy of that time, he argued, he said, he proposed that Dhaka, that is the nowadays the capital of Bangladesh, it was also in India that time. So Viceroy Lord Curzon was saying that Dhaka could become the capital of new Muslim viceroys and kings. He was saying that Muslims should go to Dhaka, or Muslims should make their capital to Dhaka. That is the current capital of Bangladesh. So it was clear that the government was having its policy to divide and rule. They were trying to fool the Muslims as well as other parties or other religious people, so that they cannot, so that they cannot unite together and fight against the Britishers. That was one of the planning of the Britishers. They wanted to counter, and they want to attack back the Congress as well as the national movement. So this is from that is all from Swadeshi movement. We have discussed about Swadeshi movement, that what was that and why were the Bengalis not happy. Now, the fourth reason which also used to raise the feeling of nationalism among the Indians was the Indian folklore. Now, let me tell you what is that folklore. Let me share one more document with you all, that you would understand the meaning of folklore. Now, you can see, I think, that folklore means what? It is the traditional beliefs. Traditional, यानी जो सदियों से चला आ रहा है आपके पूर्वजों से, that beliefs that you have been given from your ancestors, those are known as traditional beliefs. So the traditional beliefs, the traditional customs, है ना, जो रीति रिवाज जो आप फॉलो करते आ रहे हैं, these are the, and the stories of a community, और वो सारे communities की story, different communities की stories, all are clubbed together under the term folklore. Folklore means what? Traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community, which is used to which is used to pass through the generation from word to mouth. Means your father would tell you the story of your ancestors, and later on you will tell your children about the stories of your ancestors. So these are passing through the generations from word, by using the word, by using the mouth, by using the stories, by using them, by telling your children as if in the form of stories. So these are the folklores which also used to create or raise the feeling of nationalism among the Indians. You can see here Indian folklore. So ideas of nationalism, what were the ideas of nationalism? People used to try to raise the feeling of nationalism by having different ideas. So what they started in the late 19th century, nationalists began recording folk tales. Nationalist लोगों ने क्या किया? Record करना शुरू किया local stories. They started recording local stories, local songs, है ना, which was sung by the poets, and they started moving from one village to another village to collect those folk songs, even collect small stories about freedom fighters, about the local heroes. Who were doing this? The nationalist people, means जिनके अंदर देशभक्ति आ चुका था. They started collecting these folk tales, means local stories. They started collecting poems sung by different poets. They started collecting folk songs and local songs, and they started collecting even stories also, so that these stories, these songs, these small stories could be shared with the coming future generation, young generation, so that the feeling of nationalism could be raised among the young generation also. That's why the people, the nationalists, were doing all these things to record folklore, to share the folklores among the new generation. Now, what is the fifth point which is also used to raise the feeling of nationalism, or which is used to raise the feeling of collective belonging, that it is our country? The fifth point is that reinterpretation of history. That is telling the things again and again. That is telling the things once again. Reinterpretation means repeating about the glorious developments of India in the field of art, architecture, science, mathematics, religion, culture, law, philosophy, crafts, and trade. Means the nationalists started claiming or telling the stories or remembering the achievements of India in the past in these particular fields, arts and architecture, science, math, religion. Means the nationalists started claiming or remembering or telling these stories of glorious developments of India, which was boomed in that particular year or in those time, so that people should feel pride. लोगों को क्या अपने देश पर क्या गुमान होना शुरू हो जाए, अपने देश पर फकर होना शुरू हो जाए कि हमारा देश भी इतना अच्छा है, that their country is has bloomed in science and math, has bloomed in culture, law, philosophy, art and culture, and art and architecture. तो ऐसे करने से क्या हो रहा था, the people were also feeling or taking pride in their country, that yes, we are the part of this great country, हम एक महान देश के क्या है नागरिक हैं. So to raise this type of feeling, they started claiming or telling the things when India has bloomed in the science of mathematics. यानी साइंटिस्ट के डिस्कवरीज के बारे में, कल्चर्स के बारे में, हमारे इंडियन कल्चर्स के बारे में, आर्ट्स, पेंटिंग्स, इमेजेस के बारे में, सॉन्ग्स के बारे में बच्चों को बताना शुरू किया, लोगों को बताना शुरू किया, ताकि लोगों को फक्र महसूस हो, so that they can feel that they are the citizens of a great country of, है ना, एक महान देश के वो सिटीजन है. And it helped them to struggle, to change, to fight back the Britishers because of their miserable condition against under the British rule. और इससे बहुत मदद मिला बच्चों को, लोगों को, नेशनलिस्ट को, कि लोग जो हैं ब्रिटिशर्स के खिलाफ खड़े हुए लड़ने के लिए. Another, icons and symbols. Even nationalist leaders were using different types of icons, है ना, images, symbols भी इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे, so that they can unite people, and so that they can inspire them what, the feeling of nationalism, उनके अंदर देशभक्ति और नेशनलिज्म का जज्बा जो है वो जाग जाए, इसके लिए the nationalists also use icons and symbols. Now let us see few of the icons and symbols what they have used during the Swadeshi movement, which we have just discussed, which was going on in Bengal. A tricolor flag was designed. You can see a tricolor flag. Let me show you that tricolor flag also, which was designed in red, green, and yellow during Swadeshi movement. Let me show you that particular flag also, Swadeshi movement flag, which was designed. See, no, this is not the one. Let me show you Swadeshi. Let me show you where is that. This one. You can see this flag was designed during Swadeshi movement, so that you can see there is a crescent moon over here and there is a sun over here. This is showing that Hindus as well as Muslims are united. They are not different, but the Britishers are trying to differentiate between them. And you can see there are 8 lotuses also on the top, which are showing 8 major areas of India. So this flag was designed during Swadeshi movement, and it was designed to unite the people so that they can feel that they are the part of a very great country. एक महान country के वो लोग एक नागरिक हैं, हम लोग एक हैं, ये दिखाने के लिए flags भी design किया गया later on during Swadeshi movement. Now let us come back. Now you can see it had 8 lotuses representing 8 different provinces of British India, which was very major for them. And that Swadeshi flag was also having a crescent moon, which was representing that Hindus and Muslims are all together. They are not different. So Britishers were trying to separate them, but the nationalists, Deshbhakt log, they were trying to unite them. So there was a there was a try to separate the Indians by the Britishers, but against that particular movement of Britishers, the Indians, the nationalists of India, they tried to unite the Hindus and Muslims and other people also together by drawing or by painting. You have seen that they have tried by painting also, painting the image of Bharat Mata, and now they have designed the tricolor flag also. Later on, you can see Mahatma Gandhi also designed the Swaraj flag in the year 1921, and you can see it was again a tricolor. This time it was red, green and white. Previously a tricolor flag was designed in Swadeshi movement also. It was having red, green and yellow. So red, green and red, green are common in both the flags, but there is what is the difference in one color. In Swadeshi movement there was yellow, and in Gandhiji Swaraj flag it was white. So Gandhiji designed this flag. It was having a spinning wheel also at the center, which represented that we should help ourselves. We should try to earn our living from our own self. And Gandhiji was doing that. Gandhiji was spinning the wheel, he was making thread and he was selling it in the market so that he can earn his living from his own self. He was not asking for any type of payment from the government side, or he has never asked any type of payment from any person. So he showed by designing that Swaraj flag that India is united and the people should help themselves. They try to learn the earning themselves. They try to earn their earning from themselves. Let me show you that Swaraj flag also, which was designed by Gandhiji. This one you can see. This flag was designed by Gandhiji, and you can see at the center it is having a wheel showing that we should believe on self-help. We should earn our living from our own self. So later on, you can see that all the things are same in our national flag, but this wheel is also there in our national flag. So mostly you can say that it was adopted by the Indians later on also. Now let us come back. Now these type of flags were designed because there was a great reason. There was a reason to design this flag. They wanted to unite the people, and wherever you will carry the flag, holding it in the air during marches, it symbolizes that you are quite bold, है ना. लोगों के अंदर में ये देशभक्ति का भावना और जाग जाता है जब लोग हाथों में फ्लैग लेकर मार्च करते हैं. When the people used to hold the flag in the air during marches, they feel that they are the part of the nationalist movement in India. So you also feel it that if you are all having a flag in your hand, Indian flag, and you are marching towards, then you will get more boldness in your mind, in your heart. You will become bold, more bold. You will get the strength to fight against the Britishers. You will get the strength to fight against the wrong deeds, wrong things. So whenever you feel this, that someone is oppressing you, कुछ लोग आप पर जुल्म कर रहे हैं, then carry the flag in your hand. You will get a lot of strength. You will get energy. You will get extra strength and energy by holding the flag in your hand. It will help you to remember that you are the part of this country. You are the part of this great Indian country. है ना? Let us move ahead to our next topic. This is a very common question which is used to be asked in board examination. Many times it had been asked, and last it was asked in 2019. What is the question? How had a variety of cultural process developed? Miss, the board is asking you that describe all those cultural processes which helped to develop sense of collective belongingness in India during 19th century. बोर्ड आपसे क्या पूछ रहे हैं कि वो सारे कल्चरल प्रोसेस को आप डिस्क्राइब करें, बताएं, जिसके मदद से आपके अंदर में, लोगों के अंदर में एकता का भावना जागा, that they are belong to the same country. This is the question, and it is asking you to explain with examples. So let me discuss the answer also of this question, what you should write and how you should write. So let us begin with the heading that collective belongingness. So number one, that first culture process, that is history and fiction, folklore and songs, popular prints and symbols, all played in the part of making of nationalism, or creating the, or raising the sense of nationalism among the Indians. So this is the thing that you should write in your first point, and try to give the examples of history and fiction, folklore and song. We all discussed. The nationalists were discussing the history or the life of the freedom fighters to their next generation. They were discussing the life of the freedom fighters with the next coming generation, so that they can also develop the sense of nationalism among them, so that they can also fight against the Britishers to get the country freedom, to get the country independence against the Britishers, so that they can get freedom from the Britishers, so that they can get independence from those Britishers who have who are ruling in their country. So these all played part to create sense of collective belongings. Next is what identity of the nation was often most symbolized in a figure or image. We know that they have created the image of Bharat Mata to what? To also raise the feeling of collective belongingness. Next is what the identity of India came to be visually associated with the image of Bharat Mata. So not only they have only designed or painted the image of Bharat Mata, they have also designed the national flag also, flag for India, Swaraj flag, or Gandhi designed by Gandhi ji, Swaraj flag on Gandhi flag also. So people started and they tried their best to raise this particular feeling of collective belongings in India. So fourth point is what Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and Rabindranath Tagore also created a picture of Bharat Mata, so that they can instill the sense of collective belongings in India. And again, you can see Vande Mataram. You can also note point it down that Vande Mataram as a hymn, as a song, to was also composed for the motherland India, so that it can create sense of collective belongingness in India. So these are the 5 points. Sixth one is also there, folklore and tales. Folklores that we discussed, that traditional beliefs, customs, culture, and even tales, means short stories, also gave a true picture of traditional culture. They also trying to pass these folklores and short stories of their tradition, so that they can also instill the feeling of collective belongingness among the Indians. So let us move to our next topic. I'm going to give you a lot of details about this great man, Abanindranath Tagore. He did a lot of things, and what he designed the flag of Bharat Mata in the year 1905. And we have seen that image. It was created as by using watercolor painting by Abanindranath Tagore. That the image of Bharat Mata designed by Abanindranath Tagore. Let me show that image also, designed by Abanindranath Tagore. That I showed you earlier, that uh, that a woman was standing and having a lot of hands, and two hands at the back, two hands in the front. So that was the image. So the image depicts Bharat Mata as a saffron clad, यानी कपड़े पहने हुए भारत माता को दिखाया गया with four arms. और कौन से कलर में था? saffron कलर का. And the woman was having four arms standing by the edge of a lotus pond. एक lotus pond के करीब जो है that Bharat Mata was standing, and there were four arms of Bharat Mata. The hind arms, which were at the back, was having a piece of cloth and a book. है ना, पीछे हाथ जो है उसमें एक हाथ में क्लोथ है, व्हाइट कपड़ा है, और एक हाथ में किताब है. Whereas the four arms, the arms which are in front, was having a mala, was having a rosary made of beads, and on the other hand, she was having paddy sheaves. So it was depicting that the Indians are very good in agriculture. Even the Indians are very religious also, and even the Indians are very good in studies also, and cleanliness also. She want to show that Aminanath Tagore. The saffron attire, that is the saffron color cloth, combined with four arms and a halo. हेलो मीन्स जैसे जब कृष्ण भगवान आते तो पीछे में कुछ लाइट जैसा जल जाता है, दैट इज द हेलो, है ना. सो शी वाज शोन दैट विद अ हेलो बिहाइंड हर हेड, मेड हर लुक लाइक डिवाइन. ये दिखाया जा रहा था कि ये जो भारत माता है वो बहुत डिवाइन है, वो साध्वी है ना, साधु है एक जैसे. इन दिस पेंटिंग भारत माता इज पोर्ट्रेड एज तपस्वी, एसेटिक. ये दिखाया गया कि भारत माता बहुत एसेटिक है, तपस्विक है. She is calm hai, she is composed, she is very divine also. And later on, this Bharat Mata image was shared among the people, and people were having, or this Bharat Mata, when they were seeing the image of Bharat Mata designed by this, painted by this Abanindranath Tagore, they were bowing their heads. सर लोग झुका के नमस्ते करते थे इस भारत माता का इमेज को, और सोचते थे कि हम लोग जो है एक महान देश के व्यक्ति हैं. तो हम दिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं आपको. लेट मी शो यू दैट इमेज डिजाइन बाय अबेंद्रनाथ टैगोर, है ना. लेट मी शो यू क्विकली that image. Oh my god, oh my god. No, this thing, it is going on, it is going. This is the image that I was talking of, about the Bharat Mata image designed by, painted by. Hope that you have liked the video, and we will meet again in our next video release of the tutorial. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial. Please share it with your friends and others also. Thank you for the time being. Take care. Stay at home. Bye bye. Take care.